Our identity and who we are is in being a child of God. Today's Bible Byte is found in John chapter 1, verse 12. And it says this, "But as many as received him, to them he gave the right to become children of God, to those who believe in his name." Now, this verse is talking about how you and I, we are children of God. Now, we also have a choice to make in our lives because there's a lot of different things that we can pour ourselves into or we can identify ourselves with where we become someone who's so consumed by certain things in life. And so I'm going to talk about some of those things here today that we can look out for and we can be a watch for of in life. We can enjoy life and we can have an awesome time, and there's nothing wrong with having fun. I love having fun. And I love having friends and listening to music and playing sports. All those things are awesome. But at the end of the day, we need to understand that our identity is not in anything in this world, but our identity is being a child of God. So let's talk about a few of these things. So the first one is music. Now, I like to play music. I don't know if we have any musicians. I'm sure we have musicians that are watching here today. Maybe you play the drums. Maybe you play the piano. Maybe you play the guitar. Maybe you play the radio. No, I'm just kidding. But whatever it is that you play, right, when you are a musician, right, that is an awesome God-given gift that God has given you. But what we have to be careful of, that some people have fallen in this trap, that if I play music, and I play a certain instrument, and my identity is wrapped up in that. That's all I care about. That's all that I think about. And I pour myself into that. And that's all that I care or think about. And all I identify with is playing music. Well, let's say I play the piano. And let's say I hurt my hand, right? I hurt my hand, I hurt my fingers. What happens? My identity starts to get a little shaken, right? Because everything that I poured into being a musician, that's all I care about. That's all I want to do. That's all I think about. And playing an instrument is awesome. But if all I do is pour my identity into that and that gets shaken up, guess what? I have nothing left, right? So I don't want to put all my identity and who I am and my purpose into playing an instrument, right? Playing an instrument is awesome, but at the end of the day, that's not where my identity is. All right, what about friends, right? We need to have friends. It is awesome to have friends. The Bible talks about how it's a good thing to have friends. But again, if I pour myself into just having friends and that's all that I care about, and if only I have friends, that's how I'm going to be happy, and that's how my life is going to be good. That if I have 3 friends, right? If I have 2, oh no, that would be awful. But as long as I have 3 friends, that'd be awesome. But again, if we have a friend that's all we think about. Oh man, I'm friends with that person. That's my identity. But let's say that friend moves away. Or let's say maybe you upset your friend one day and they're like, I don't want to be friends with you anymore. When our identity is all wrapped up in friendships and that's all that we care about, and that gets shaken, what happens? We have nothing left because we're wrapping up who we are in just our friends. Now, last but not least, we have sports, right? And I'm sure we have people here that play sports, and sports, that's awesome if you play a sport. But again, if I pour myself and all I care about, all I think about is playing sports. Let's say you play soccer and you hurt your leg playing soccer. Uh-oh, what's happening? That's right, that identity is now all shooken up. It's all shaken up, and now you have nothing left if you put all of your identity in playing that sport, and then you can't play it. So last but not least, we have one more identity that's very, very important, and that is, if you can see it, being a child of God. Each and every one of us, we are children of God. Each and every one of us, this Bible Byte talks about how we are children of God. And you see, what God wants us to do today is, yes, we can play music. Yes, we can have friends. Yes, we can play sports. But our identity is not in those things. Our identity and who we are is in being a child of God. Now, if you notice, there's something different with this one than all the others. You see, the Bible talks about how when we're a child of God, we are sealed. that no one can take that away. That it's kind of like sealing a lid on a container real tight, that when I'm a child of God, nothing can take that away. And guess what? There are going to be times when things get shaken up. There are going to be times when things happen, things I don't understand. Things are going to happen that I don't get. But guess what? I don't lose my identity when I'm a child of God. And so, boys and girls, I want you to remember today in today's Bible Bite that God calls you his child. You are a child of God. That yes, we can have hobbies, and yes, we should have friends, and yes, we should do all these things, and that's awesome. But at the end of it all, it's not about any of these things in this life that I'm wrapping my identity. It's much more than that. But I realize and understand that I am a child of God. I'm a child of God. You are a child of God. So I want you guys to remember that today, that you are a child of God. Thank you so much for joining us for today's Bible Bite. We'll see you next time.